So you telling me he wasn't sending you text messages about having sex with you that time we were at the Mets game? Or was it some other dude?
Yeah, that was another guy.
Do you think flirting with other people while you're in a relationship is cheating?
Yes, of course it's cheating.
But some people are just naturally flirty.
Well, then you're naturally a cheater.
Shameek and I met in high school. We were young, but we had something real.
I really cared about Stephanie. But one night I saw a text pop up on her phone from some dude talking about all the things he wanted to do to her.
I never did anything with that guy, but Shameek never let me explain. It's been years, but I still feel like he's the one. I'm ready to own up to everything and see if he'll give me a second chance.
So those text messages that I found before, did you ever cheat on me with any of those guys?
It was like honest flirting.
What the hell does honest flirting mean? What?
Yeah, what does she mean that by
Honest
it was
flirting.
honest flirting?
What is honest flirting? Are you stupid?
Like, what do you think about that, though? Do you think flirting with other people while you're in a relationship is cheating?
Yes, of course it's cheating.
But some people are just naturally flirty.
Well, then you're naturally a cheater.
Like, I feel like flirting and banter are so close.
Yeah, but it depends. There's a fine line. There's a fine line between banter and flirting. Like, you can banter without flirting. That just has to be seen as a barrier, like as a line to not cross. And if there isn't a line that you shouldn't cross, then where does it start? Where does it end? You create all this confusion. Like, let's say you're in a relationship and there's that guy or girl best friend that you have, yeah, that you're like, we're just friends, yeah. If that person came onto you, would you stop them? If the answer is yes, then that's okay. That's the only way that's okay.
Yeah, if they were literally saying,
but most of these people,
let's go to this place and let's, if they were like inviting me to a hotel or something,
no,
obviously will lead to sex, then that's a premise for cheating, innit? That will be more cheating. But if they're making jokes like, "Oh, you look fit in that top today, you cuter than usual," and then I'm like, "Yeah, you know how it is." For me, that's like, okay, that's more. It's like, do you see what I mean about banter and flirting? Like, even when Jordan, like, sometimes we banter, but it could be taken as flirting. Flirting by text, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this to you. That's more, that's cheating. That's, for me, that's cheating. You're implying you're gonna do something, but if you're implying someone, you look attractive or you look a bit.
But yeah, in that scenario, you have to hide behind the fact that it's a joke. Who's gonna decide if it's a joke or not?
But then, yeah, for me, it crosses the line then, because that's not a joke. If you're like, let's meet up at this place and we could.
But then the problem goes, who's deciding?
It is a fine line.
You don't have to do that. You could not do that, and you'd be fine.
Yeah, I think the best way to measure it just depends on the person you're with and what their
limit of course. Is. I guess there is.
But that person also has to consider your.
I think we have to talk about it specifically in the context of this video, because that's the only way we're going to be able to come to a conclusion. That is true.
In the context of this video, what it sounds like what she did was cheating.
And my teammate on the basketball team.
We kissed, but we were broken up. So.
Are you serious?
You ignoring me is breaking up. You not responding to my texts, my calls, like acknowledging what I'm saying. That's breaking up.
One person's one person's interpretation is different to the other person's. Yeah. She said we were broken up. They weren't broken up.
He just wasn't replying to her.
Yeah.
But it depends how long, though.
Yeah, it does depend how long.
So you couldn't find somebody else to kiss?
I didn't do that to purposefully hurt you.
You made out with my teammate. So you telling me he wasn't sending you text messages about having sex with you that time we were at the Mets game? Or was it some other dude?
Yeah, that was another guy.
See, that's not flirting, innit? He's saying, I want to fuck you. Or the things I'm going to do to you. That's the intent of having sex at the end. It wasn't the intent of just talking, having fun. I want to put my penis in you. That's my objective, which makes it cheating.
Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. I'm not even talking about if it's cheating or not. I'm just talking about if it's wrong or not.
Yo, you gotta be kidding me for real. So it
The
was
thing
just.
at the Mets game, he was honestly just a friend.
But you were entertaining it the
To
whole
me, he
time.
was genuinely a friend.
How can somebody be a genuine friend,
To
right?
me,
To you,
maybe he didn't look at
Steph, how is he a genuine friend and he's texting you, I want to have sex with you, everything he'll do to you in bed and all this stuff, and he's downplaying, talking about me.
I didn't do anything with him if that's what you're insinuating. No.
It doesn't matter. You fucking entertain.
That's not flirting. That's, you're trying to fuck them.
Yeah.
Well, that is flirting, but it's a different type. Do you get what I mean?
She's just letting it happen.
Yeah.
For whatever reason she's got to let that happen.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. Like,
She obviously knows she can't play ignorant about
she
it.
knows what she did was wrong, but
Yeah.
she's just trying to make it sound as innocent as possible at this point.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You could have told him it was inappropriate. I have someone. You didn't think to put a stop to it. Be like, listen, I can't talk to you.
I didn't know how to maneuver the situation. Sorry.
You don't know how to tell him to calm down, or not even calm down. Just ignore him. You telling me that you can't do that?
Maybe you should take your own advice. Holding girls' hands in the hallway, just entertaining other females. What about the naked pictures I found in your phone?
First of all, they weren't nude. It was boy shorts and a shirt, Steph. Stop exaggerating.
Are you me?
Oh, it's coming!
She brought the receipts.
She
brought the receipts. She came back with that. Ha! What about this?
Oh, it's kicking. All right.
That was some judo right there.
Now we have to be Simon Cowell over here.
If that were the same thing on my end, you would have had a fit. Why would you give me a hard time for cheating if you were cheating too?
You won't admit that you cheated. We were on a break. This isn't Friends. This isn't Ross and Rachel.
We were on a break.
We were not on a break.
You
Steph.
not talking to me is a break.
I'm not saying that my actions were correct, but we both agreed that we wouldn't have anything on the side, any sneaky stuff. I kept my word. You didn't put a stop to it. Go ahead. Please, I want to know.
I cheated. You're right. I did. To be honest, this was my first relationship. Like, I didn't know how to necessarily maneuver maturely in a relationship, so it was kind of overwhelming to me. Me flirting, it's a level of insecurity. Maybe on my end too, I felt like, wow, how can someone genuinely care about me this much?
I understand. I definitely take responsibility for being vindictive, because that's what it was. I was being vindictive with the flirting and holding the...
Just before he speaks, I liked that she then confessed and she explained the reason and the immaturity behind it. I think we can all be guilty of that as well.
Look, no one here is innocent of anything. Yeah,
we're not perfect. That's for sure.
But all I'm saying is we need to learn from things.
Yeah.
And have it as a baseline to move forward. Like, what you might not realize is right now they just put a ton of hurt on each other. So this is going to continue to be a theme in their relationship if they want to continue it. And if they do, they have to really figure out how they're going to move past that, because it's no simple thing. And like, yeah, when she said like, things happen out of insecurity. Like, you might talk to someone else just because you're feeling flattered or whatever else. That just means you're not ready for a relationship. You're not at this kind of age. No one's really ready for. Only a finite amount of people are ready for a relationship.
You're gonna make mistakes.
We have to remember, not even just people make mistakes. You just have to remember that I think people, if they realize that they're gonna be hurt, they just accept that reality, that they're gonna be hurt. Then you take off a bit of pressure. Because I think the one other reason why people hurt so bad is because they think that, okay, I spent time and energy figuring this one out. This one's going to be okay. I'm going to be safe.
And they'll never get hurt.
And would
you say expect the worst, hope for the best?
I would say just realize the fact, okay, stop. Don't try and shelter yourself. You see a lot of people trying to say, I'm not going to give this a chance because I don't want to be hurt. Well, you're just sheltering yourself. You're going to be hurt one way or another somewhere. You might get lucky, but the chances are you won't.
Hands and do that was very disrespectful. That wasn't the right way to go about things. That's no way to move.
No, I get it. And looking back, I realized that me not being able to express how I felt, it came from a place of immaturity. I am sorry. I'd rather just put all my energy into someone I can see myself building with. And I was wondering if you would give me a second chance.
I think I can do that. I think we should maybe try again, but I think we should probably first get to know each other as adults before anything.
Yeah, I like that.
That's cool with you?
I would prefer that, yeah.
It seems like though, like what I find from watching these second chances is that sometimes just sitting down and talking about things, usually both parties become very understanding, but I feel like people don't do that enough. I personally don't do that enough in my relationships.
What do you want to say to me?
Your hairline's shit and I hate it. See, like that. That's how you do it. And if the person's upset, well, it's their fault for having a shit hairline. But yeah, the whole idea is that you both get to understand each other's where they're coming from, and it's usually quite good to do that, I think.
Yeah, but then it lasts 5 minutes and you're arguing again.
And usually people wait till they break up or to get on the show like that to even do it. So maybe it should be common practice, just air out how you feel. That was another episode of Let's Talk About It. I hope you guys are liking these second chance reactions and just the reaction videos in general. But yeah, I feel positively for their relationship. I hope they had a good future together after that. Maybe they didn't, but I'm happy they at least tried.
Yeah. Good luck to
them. It wasn't as deep as
whatever your name is.
So that's the video. Comment, subscribe, tell your mom, your dad, your dog, your best friend, your BFFs. Not flirting.
Yeah.
It sounds like she was
like she said we kissed, right? She said we kissed, okay?
That's
so obviously at the
cheating.
time while she was talking, no, she said we were broken up. But that means obviously at the time where they were together and she's talking with this guy, and then as soon as they're done, she's kissing this other guy, then obviously it was flirting, which had effects and intentions on the relationship.
Yeah,
so
it does
constitute cheat.
It's all on the actual intent.
There's different types of cheat. I wouldn't say necessarily like cheating as in you stepped out of the relationship, but it's just something you shouldn't do.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Just something you shouldn't
do. But yeah,
do.
it does depend on the intent as well.
Yeah, but
intent is a big part.
It's just something you shouldn't do. It's not necessarily cheating, but it's like, think about it like this: you should be doing things that are healthy for your relationship, and it's just something that, unless you're very specific types of people, it won't be healthy for the relationship. And that's.
But I feel like if you're in a trusting relationship and that's how they are, and because for me, there's no point being with them if you can't really trust them. Kind of thing.
Okay, so you're saying that you should be able to trust her to talk to a few different guys and say what she wants, but then not actually do anything about it.
Yeah, but we covered the limit and the intention.
But then you guys have a fight one day.
Yeah.
And then that flirting banter that's been built up can be used against you in just one night.
Then if that's the kind of girl she is, then I don't want that.
But it's too late now. You've been cheated on.
Fine, I've been cheated on. Obviously, I'll be hurt.
People are trying to avoid that happening.
I dodged the bullet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're talking about trying to avoid that happening. So then in conclusion, it does have bad impacts on a relationship.
It depends on what kind of, as we said, like
depends on what kind of
if it's with the intent, if the person believes there's a potential of sexual intercourse or something coming out of it, then it'll be cheating, innit? If you're making someone believe there is, but if it's if it's banter kind of thing,
there's a fight. There people.
There is a fine line, and obviously common sense can go, okay, this is cheating and this is flirting.
But in this scenario, he's trying to get some, and she's entertaining it. So that's why I'm saying it's harmful to the relationship.
In this scenario, I agree with you. It is cheating, But there is scenarios where, like, for example, colleagues at a workplace, they might have some kind of flirtatious banter, basically. There is flirtation that is not with that intent of a sexual end. Do you get what I mean? But it is a hard thing. And some people's personalities just naturally like that it might, like, and if you go, okay, you can't speak to people like that, it's hard for you to have a relationship with them because you're now inhibiting their way of communication. They have to police themselves. And I don't really want to do that to a person I'm with. Do you know what I mean? I'll trust them to know the boundaries. I'll trust them to be able to have banterous / flirtatious conversations with people. But I trust them to know the limit of that kind of thing. And if they are leading someone, and if someone is trying to do that, then they will stop that. Do you get what I mean?
Yes, I get exactly what you mean.
I guess my opinion of it is more nuanced. It's not like flirting's bad, full stop. That's what
I just think you should think about it like this, yeah?
Yeah.
The moment it causes strain on a relationship is when it's bad. End of story.
That's then if your partner's like, I want you to stop talking to that person, or I don't like you talking to that person that way, then yeah, you should listen. But I also will say to that person, make sure you're not being too controlling in that.
Yeah, of course. No, I think
well.
there are types of people who are like that, and if that works for them, great. Even though they end up on these kind of shows all the time, fine, let them do what they want to do. But I think if you're a specific type of person, you need to make sure the person you're with reflects that, or otherwise it's just going to go downhill like all of these episodes.